Hey everyone, my name is Wedge, and 2013 is coming to an end. Since this is our first new year on YouTube, we decided to start a tradition. At the end of every year, we're going to release a countdown of the 10 most impactful cards in Standard released over the past year. There are some rules to this. First, we aren't including any reprints. Sorry Thoughtseize, go die in a hole. Second, we're only including cards printed in Standard legal sets during the year 2013. This means that only cards from Gatecrash, Dragon's Maze, M14, and Theros can be on this list. Lastly, what do we mean by impactful? We mean cards that shaped the meta, brought obscure decks to the forefront of competition, or created an immediate need for an answer in the format. This list wasn't easy to make, and there are cards I know people will be upset aren't on here, but trust me, we did our research and this is what we came up with. Today we'll be running through the first half of the list, and we'll be back here tomorrow to ring in the new year with the second half. Enjoy. Starting off our countdown at number 10, we have ghor-clan Rampager. Since the second Gatecrash came out, the Rampager's been seeing constant play. 4 mana for a 4/4 Trampler is okay, but his Blood Rush ability gives an aggro deck the kind of reach it hasn't seen in a while. There's a reason this card is top 4'd more than any other card printed in 2013. While he may not be the driving force of the green-red aggro decks, he's certainly an auto-include every time. Moving right along to 9th place, we have another Gruul favorite. Burning Tree Emissary has taken the current aggressive meta to its extreme. Devotion decks love the double red and double green. In addition, the 2 free mana in mono red or green-red aggro can go a long way. Burning Tree Emissary into Fire Fist Striker or Ash Zealot is crippling on turn 2. In the green deck, Emissary into Scavenging Ooze. Ugh. The card provides so much early game value and has the potential to vault you ahead in a matchup that might normally be a lot closer. The Emissary makes this list because of its necessary inclusion in any aggressive strategies running red or green. The 2 free mana is just too good to pass up. It accelerates the game at a pace many people can't keep up with. From the week Gatecrash came out, this human shaman has been tearing control, mid-range, and aggro decks apart as a 4-of. Easily deserves a spot. Coming in at number 8 is the only common on our list, but for someone like Gary, I think he's pretty okay with it. Grey Merchant of Asphodel hasn't been out long, but he's been out long enough to give people nightmares about what's in that sack he's always carrying around. Everyone knows by now that Devotion is a strong mechanic. That's pretty undisputed. You'd also have a hard time finding someone that says Grey Merchant isn't a staple in Mono Black Devotion. This card single-handedly gives Mono Black the ability to overextend its life total with Thoughtseize and Underworld connections. In a world of aggressive decks, you'd think that a Mono Black deck would want to conserve on life at least a little bit in the early game. Nope, it doesn't have to. Grey Merchant has enough power in its Enter the Battlefield effect to reverse most anything you've done to yourself. Even if you play nothing until turn 4 and drop a Desecration Demon or a Whip of Erebos, that next turn you have an 8-point life swing. That's insane on a 5 mana common. Mono Black Devotion would still be a deck without Grey Merchant, but it wouldn't be nearly as reliable or ballsy with its decision making. Aether Ling exiles his way to our 7th spot. While he's not as much of a staple as he used to be, this guy was the control creature for months after Dragon's Maze came out. Even after Theros first hit, Aether Ling was played consistently for over a month. Blue-white control shells always need some kind of reliable finisher to win the game. If they can't find a decent enough creature, the deck dies. Aether Ling was more than decent. He was the perfect creature to have in a control deck. Supreme Verdict until they have nothing, play Aether Ling, untap, he never dies, ever. There just weren't good answers for him. This guy's on the list because of his sheer dominance in control decks all summer long. Without him, they wouldn't have stood a chance at being competitive. No one can protect an Aether Ling like an Aether Ling can. In the 6th place spot is a card we all knew would be on this list, Domri Raid. Green-red aggro has been a strong deck ever since Gatecrash came out, and it owes Domri Raid for that success. A cheap green-red planeswalker with a pseudo card draw ability is insane. Aggressive decks are usually vulnerable because they drop their entire hand and hope to not get board swept. Domri Raid single-handedly fights back against that. The card advantage engine for just 3 mana is too much for most decks to handle. Even if you board sweep in time to avoid death, Domri will probably generate another entire wave of attackers. It's pretty straightforward, but the reason Domri's on this list is because he gives green-red aggro something it's never had. Without Domri, it would be another aggro deck without any backbone. With Domri, it's an aggro deck with a late game and an answer to sweepers. Seems dangerous to me. We hope you enjoyed the first half of our top 10 most impactful cards in Standard from 2013. Check in tomorrow as we count down from numbers 5 to 1. Do you guys have any predictions on cards you think we put in the top 5? Leave your thoughts in the comments below and see if you're right tomorrow. As always, subscribe for the latest and most reliable Magic the Gathering information you could ever need. This is the Mana Source. I'm Wedge. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.